On Wednesday, several waitresses who worked in a Times Square restaurant called the Hawaiian Tropic zone, which actually has a very kind of fancy menu from a celebrity chef. These women all claim that they were sexually harassed, and they filed a $600 million lawsuit. Now, not for nothing, but seriously, if I had a job where I worked in a bikini, I'd figure I'd get sexually harassed. Not that, God forbid, I've ever had such a job, because I don't even like to be served by people who aren't like in full clothing. The germs, the burns in it. But it's a horrible, horrible thing. One of the women in this suit alleges that she was raped and drugged by the general manager. Now, why didn't she go to the cops sooner? It took her a whole month to go to the cops. She didn't seem to do either, or, you know, at least she certainly didn't go to the cops for a whole month. Forget the $600 million. I'd make sure this guy was in jail for the rest of his life. I went to the Hawaiian Tropic for lunch yesterday, just to see what this hotbed was all about. I mean, truthfully, it was like being at the Polynesian Village at Disney World. It was about that sexy. I expected the men in the restaurant to be oogling the women, the waitresses. They weren't. These women could have been dressed for Colonial Williamsburg. They paid as much attention to them. It was very interesting. It was all very, you know, touristy, and like the men that were there looked like a bunch of accountants without jobs. But it's also interesting that the place is now run by a woman. They fired this guy. The women who work here are in great shape. They're athletes. They certainly aren't asking for it. However, if you work in a bikini, chances are good you're going to get a lot of comments. You're going to get a lot of, you know, idiotic men. On the other hand, there is a law, and you are protected by the civil rights law that you should not and must not be sexually harassed on the job. If this rant wasn't enough for you, I do have a column on it in the New York Post, and I'm Linda Stasi.